And we are off. Welcome everyone to round 11 of Silver Division this year around France. It is... well, we'll see what the track is like. It's a lovely sunny day here at the moment anyway, but we'll see what the conditions are in game. Yeah, it's a nice track. It's challenging, but you will be rewarded if you do send it and manage to keep the lap valid. It's one of those tracks where you can take a couple of different lines through a couple of different corners to try and gain advantage on the car behind or car ahead. So we'll hopefully see a bit of that in the race and some good clean racing. We've had a couple of changes since last week in terms of drivers, and this is what I asked for: a nice wet race, a nice wet quali anyway. We'll see what the race is like. If anyone can put that into the chat if you're listening, be good to know. It's inters at the moment, so we'll see what the story is. No one's going out early in the first 30 seconds, so I wonder if conditions are supposed to get better. We have a Mercedes of Divji Josa, which is Jalen in the Reddit or Discord server. So yeah, we'll follow him in an outlap here now. I haven't personally done any racing in the wet here as practice, so I'm not too sure what the times should be like. So we'll just wait and see, I suppose. It's two Alpha Tauris. I think it's wet, yeah, but is it wet in the race, do you know, Reese? That's the $1 million question here. The two Alpha Tauris of Banana and PX in outlaps, and Mad G's follow them through in the Ferrari, reserving to speak from silver, from bronze in silver. But yeah, I know it's we'd be expecting some people into the low 29s, maybe high 28s even, if it was a dry quali. I'm not too sure. It is silver time indeed, right? How would your race go in bronze? You didn't bottle it too badly today, I hope. But yeah, that kind of track limit is acceptable on outlaps. But we've made a big deal about people not completely cutting parts of the track, which you can do on this circuit. So we'll have to wait and see. Not too shabby. That's good to hear, right? Anyway, and afternoon, Nathan. Good result for you today in bronze. You were a bit of wheel spin away from possibly picking up a P1 in the race. And Jalen seems to have invalidated his lap there before going out, so we'll be board Banana. He's the first person on the valid lap, so we'll see his sector 1 split. He was indeed very nyaung today, but yeah, we have Banana after invalidating too. I think we'll see a lot of that in these conditions. PX is also invalidated. What's Mad G looking like? He is kept it valid. The bit of practice today in bronze has served him well. So yeah, he was purple sector 1, as he's the only person who had a valid sector 1 at that point, so we'll have to wait and see how that unfolds for him. He's coming up to a bit of traffic now. Purple sector 2 as well. And the Mercedes gets out of the way nice and well. So he seems to take a good line out just while keeping it valid. And I mean, he will be setting the timing screens alight because he's the only person with a valid lap so far. There's an Alfa Romeo and Haas behind him on track, but I don't know if they're actually on the laps. Doesn't look like it by the timing boards. And he comes to the line now for a 40.4. Yeah, after that Singapore Grand Prix, I looked at my settings for the gamma adjustment, and so it was 100, so I put it there after last time because I wanted to fix that. And if I find the 100 is best for me for racing, so hopefully it's best for you for viewing pleasure as well. So we'll see if anyone's on a valid lap at the moment. We have Sergio Silva come across the line. He looks to do better than Maggi and goes a second faster. Good result there from the Alpine, and now the Williams of Mr. Reese come across the line for 40.1. But yeah, so you got issues with the gamma for the brightness of the screen. I haven't put any fixes in place for if people's audio can't be heard in interviews after the race. So hopefully whoever comes in the interview has that sorted from their end, and hopefully it's not a problem from my end. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. As AJ Mackey's come across the line now, he got P2 last week in Austria, pipped at the end by Charlie, and he goes P1 now again, 39 flat. We have got Banana come across the line now over 38.9, just under a tenth ahead of AJ Mackey. So he's doing well now in the wet. We have a Ferrari come across the line of Jack. Is it starting an out lap? No, it's Mad G starting a second lap, it seems. An Alfa Romeo now of, I presume it's Matt Robertson, since Strategy's still in the pits. And a 42.5. I hope that is not a lap for Matt, because that's a very unrepresentative time, and he has a full battery pack, so it presumably was, as Jennett pops it up into P5 with a 40.4. We have Denrad coming close to the line now in the last sector. He's got very little battery. He's the second push lap in a row. We'll have to wait and see. A 33 coming out of the last corner. I'll keep a note of that. It's a very long run to the line here at the end of the quality lap as he goes P5 at a 4.1, just ahead of Jennett, as Jack is now starting his out lap. We have a Haas of Rhino posted last week ahead of AJ Mackey, and he goes pole again by half a second almost, 400 bit tenths. So he's picked up where he's left off, which is always a nice feeling as a driver, to be carrying your form through week after week. As Denrad is now coming to the line. He has a look at 34, so he's looking at 41 would be my guess. 40.2. Well, my guess was well off. Okay. But yeah, it's quite a long run out of the last corner, so it's kind of hard to know from there if people are doing well or doing bad, as PX limits goes up to P5, turn on 8, sorry. There's Alfa Romeo's, well, it's Matt Robertson again, hopefully doing better than his 42.5, and he's almost 2 seconds up, and that puts him P4 with a 39.1. So much better lap from him. We've Anna Hassan just starting the lap now, as we have a Mercedes of Ginaudi starting his lap as well. I wonder if the track is supposed to ramp up and get a bit drier, as people are not too fussed coming out of the pits, as we have Alfie, Yai, Strategy, and haven't gone out of the pits yet at all. And Merckx and Sam the Man are only starting their out laps. Jalen is on another out lap after invalidating his last attempt as we have Jack coming across the line to. I had 3196, but it must be invalid, so it hasn't popped up in our screens. And we have Charlie starting another lap. And though he completed another lap, but he was just 7/10 down. So it's not improving. There is the Haas driver. And we have PX Limits coming across the line. DRS is now enabled. So yeah, that explains why Alfie and Strategy and Mercs are coming out late. Have they come out on the soft tires? They have. I think Mercs coming out on the intermediates is a bad call. Strategy put on the softs in the pits is a good call. Yeah, he coming out on the softs is a good call. But it could be a bit early to get most out of these softs. There's still 8 minutes left in this session. So 1.5 minute lap time. As Anar San goes fastest to the intermediates to really confirm that it is drying up at the moment. Maybe the inters are kind of heating up, which is why Charlie is didn't improve in his previous run. I would expect everyone to be going into the pits now. I don't see a reason why they will be starting a new lap. As I say that, Mercs is now starting a lap on inters, even though the track has gone to dry. Interesting to say the least. So we'll see how this goes for him. But yeah, there's McLaren as well, as and the man is starting a lap on inters or finishing a lap on inters. I mean, he goes P1, but I don't imagine he'll stay there. As Mr. Reese goes P3, and again, I don't imagine he'll stay there. As everyone, I presume, logically speaking, will be going out on softs. Now, I don't see a reason if DRS has been enabled, anyone will be on inters. It hasn't stopped people, and never will. But yeah, I don't. Just wasting time as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they keep improving inters runs by big margins, so I kind of suggest that it is drying up, and that they shouldn't be on inters runs. But what do I know? Yeah, it's we'll see who's first of the soft runners. Let's see if there is that much of improvement. Yeah, he is a 23.8, and we'll follow him on this run now as he stopped burning ERS. And good afternoon, Nathan, as he cuts the track. I mean, you say it in the driver's briefing, you make an announcement to all the silver and tag all the silver beforehand, and he still straight away goes and does that in qualifying. Some people just will not listen when you say do not cut track limits on in laps or out laps. It's I mean, I've done all I can do, so it looks like a pretty slam dunk penalty for Yai there. So we'll keep that in mind for the race, and if my memory serves me right as well, I believe he has some penalties to serve from Austria if he does finish in the points this week. So more of that kind of antics, and I could be having a very busy time on reports again. It did take me about 2 hours to go through everything after Austria with the sprint and all that, and calculating who has what penalties and what penalties have to be applied from carried over from before and all this stuff, which is a dose. Yes, everyone pretty much is on softs in the pits. PX Limits is the only person on softs on a lap, and he's invalidated, which is great. It's quite a slow start to quali here, as we're kind of waiting for everyone to set their soft laps. If it was me, I would have gone out straight away at the 8 minute mark. What as yeah he did, and set a lap pretty much straight away on the soft, which is the banker, because it's pretty much guaranteed to be faster in all the interest times. And then you come in again and come back out about now, which is what Denrod, Jennett, Sergio, Anna and Sam the Man are doing, and fuel up for 2 runs to set your final laps on the softs, as we saw Charles Leclerc say after Qatar qualifying, when he used a U set of soft tires at the start of Q3, that kind of reset his kind of calibration for how much you can push in the tires and pushing how late you can brake and all that. And as we know, these are all elite athletes in this division and in F7. No, it's not a full quality red, although there has been questions about that, and seeing as attendance has improved a lot the last couple of weeks, it would be something we could consider, as long as people are okay with time-wise with it. And obviously next week it's again a Saturday race, so Sunday will be grand for racing. As Rhino now was 30.6, which is, I would say, is a good bit off the times we expect, a second at least. So people are being a bit tentative. Oh yeah, it's the Mother's Day thing, isn't it? I remember Red was saying that. Yeah, it always says that, Red, though, in all fairness. Like, it always says Q1 at the top. So I think that's a bit of an upsie by you, like. But yeah, I need to get back on track with who's on track and where on track. Oh yeah, it's your birthday, and Lemon's getting you a full proper wheel setup, isn't it? Yeah, we're all going over to Reds for a big party. Who's on a lap? I do not know. I thought I saw a Red Bull. I did see a Red Bull. I thought I saw a Puddy Cat. I did see a Puddy Cat. We've an Aston. We've also got an Alpine coming to the line. They're all starting out laps now, really, which is what you want to be doing. The last thing. Controller for life. It's the experience, right? It's worth the experience alone of convincing yourself you are actually able to drive a Formula 1 car because you've practiced it on the wheel. As Rhino's coming into the pits, so that's him done for quali. As Banana is P1 now, he's also done for quali. Interesting. Unless Jack has put it as a full qualifying session as opposed to short qualifying, unbeknownst to me. As Sam the Man goes P2 now, just 12 thousandths ahead of behind Banana, sorry. And I mean, do you drive a car, Red? I mean, that would be my answer to that statement. But yeah, we have support from Merckx, from Doug, and we've had Merckx supporting Doug before in the chat. And Banana can do 29.1. I mean, but as you saw, the track is drying. No, you don't drive a car. I mean, fair enough. So, have you ever gotten your license? As you have a Red Bull, a Ferrari even come across the line. I need to get back. I need to focus on the session now again. We had a bit of a lull there, and I kind of got caught up in that. As Jennett is now starting a lap, even Aston Martin of Merckx coming across the line to start a lap. Controller disconnected from Reese, which is why you need a wheel. Is all I'm saying. I mean, kind of back me up here. As Knight now is P5, we have Red Bull of he goes P1. And Matt G goes P2. The bronze driver is showing up people in the silver here now, which is embarrassing for them, really. I mean, I'd be ashamed personally, but anyway, no silver driver come racing cold later on, please, and don't embarrass me and make me my own words. That wouldn't be nice. As we have Anna Hassan come across the line to go P5 with 30.5. McLaren is next, as we have one of them going into the pits. And Alfie is now coming across the line. Brutal by me. I mean, I'm on my own, so I need to waffle as Alfie goes P1 by just over a tenth. So within that waffling, there will be a bit of brutality, I'm afraid, as we have Strategy goes P1 by 6 tenths of a second and is cemented himself in gold. That's all I have to say in that matter, really. He was one of the last across the line, as you have Gennady goes P2, or Jack goes P2 at 29.7. Jalen goes P3. And then Rod is coming into the pits. Is Janet Lee on the lap? He is, but he goes only 11th with a 30.5. As that's everyone now in quali. Now we have a top three of Strategy, Jack, and Jalen. Yeah, he is P1 now by 3 tenths of a second from Jack, who's 2 tenths of a second ahead of Jalen. So, and they were pretty much some of the last three across the line. So it's kind of one of those ones where it is a lot of track evolution, and it's people who are willing to push the boat out and kind of risk it in the changeable conditions, which means which could make it seem as he's got a bigger advantage than he does. We have to see how the race goes. If the race is fully dry and he pulls away by a second or half second a lap, then he's definitely going up to gold, but we'll have to wait and see, as it's confirmation of the finishing order here. Short qualifying, just to confirm for you, Red, you are going crazy. Q1 is what it always says. But yeah, Strategy P1, Jack P2, Jalen P3. I'm going to keep saying Jalen because I don't know how to say that. Alfie P4, Yai P5, already did cut corners in qualifying, so we have to look into that. Maggi P6, not a bad result for the bronze driver. Banana P7, absolutely washed, I don't know why he shows up. And then we have Sam the Man P8, PX P9, and Anna Hassan as the last place there in the top 10. But yeah, I mean, your words, Red, not mine. I'll leave you. I'll just say I agree with you, but I'm just agreeing with you. I didn't say it. I was just agreeing with you. And yeah, Banana doesn't seem to be too happy with the comments. Maybe if he spent more time focusing on his driving than looking at the stream and listening to the stream and entering messages into the chat, he would be further up the grid, but we'd have to wait and see on that one. Practice does make perfect, and he's practicing his typing more than his driving, so we'll wait to see on that one. I don't think he's commentating on gold later on, so I can go in as he won't be able to get back at me later in gold. So yeah, take my opportunity against a defenseless opponent. But yeah, looks like try for the race anyway. We'll see if anyone tells me if it's a full dry race, as we'll see what tyres everyone's on. Top 2 on mediums, Jalen there on softs, Alfie on hards. So the top 2 will be kind of worried by Jalen there, I presume, being on those soft tyres. The strategy here, I think you can do. I know it's a medium hard or hard medium is kind of the strategies the game offers you in Grand Prix mode, but it's always kind of slightly different in. No. I'll put a word in with Nathan to keep you off comms. Pole time was a 29.4? Yeah, 29.4 by strategy. It was not fully representative. It was kind of the same time as bronze, I think. But yeah, it was kind of a dry-in session, so the track was never fully rubbered in, as Red says. So yeah, as I said, we have Jaden there on the softs and P3, which we worry the front two. Matt G is also on the softs, and then we have Matt Robertson and Knight R6 on softs too. Then it's pretty 50-50 for the rest of the grid in terms of medium and hards. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm guessing it's a soft hard they were going for. The fact that some are in soft and some mediums and some hards kind of suggests that there is no rain due. That would be my guess. And hello Vixen. We have, who is it, Knight R6 reserving for you this week. Hopefully it'll do not too bad a job, as your yeah, looks like it alright. But yeah, we have your teammate Sergio Silva on P16, who hopefully do better than that in the race. Must have got the strategy a bit wrong there in quali. And we'll hope the game actually allows me to see intervals between cars for the first couple of laps and not have to guess, as it's saying, a 1:30 whatever interval between cars who are next to each other on track. But we'll see, as Mad G misses his grid spot. Jack makes his grid spot, which is a good change and something he would need to do. He looks a bit further forward in it compared to strategy too, which would be good for him. Hoping to get a good jump off the line, as Denrod is also disqualified. But yeah, we have strategy now, as the game is terrible. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and it is lights out and away we go here. And Jack looks to get a decent start, but Jalen there on the inside on the softs looking to make a 3 wide into turn 1, going on the inside of the strategy, and he has kept it around the outside, but the strategy has defended well and kept in front. Denrod got disqualified. I'm not too sure how or why, but Jalen has now gotten into the lead from P3 and those soft compound tires. He'll be looking to make some progress early on in this race. If AJ Mackey and Anna Hassan swapping places down the field, there's a few cars that are going too wide through the end of the sector 1 here, which is easier said than done. Hopefully there's no contact, as Matt Robertson's got ahead of Rhino. And yeah, we've Janelle making a pass to Anna Hassan as well, as they're going too wide now into turn 8, as they're going a bit deep there. But yeah, other than Denrod getting disqualified somehow and Merckx having a bit of a wobble or spin, found at back of the grid, it seems to be okay, as we have, I've jinxed that, as we have Knight RS sailing off into the sunset there in the red and black, blue and black runoff. But yeah, it's trying to go over the inside there of someone. I can't remember quite who it was, but it did not work out for him at this stage of the race, as Jack goes a bit wide and the exit of turn of the final corner. But yeah, as we end lap 1, Jalen has a 39.1 as fastest lap, and he is ahead of strategy and Jack, as he looks to make the most of these soft compound tires. And if strategy can hold with Jalen here, he will not only help his race a lot by sticking with the faster runner due to the compounded tires at the moment, but he will also prove that he is a gold driver, as he doesn't seem to get the best exit there compared to Jalen, as you would expect the softs to be able to do a bit better. But strategy has got like 20% more battery than Jalen, who is burning, and strategy is not burning. So strategy seems to be running a fast car in a straight line and still maintained a good speed in qualifying with the changeable conditions. So that'll be good for him if he manages to keep the car on track. But yeah, it's a one big long DRS train, if it stays like this, pretty much from P1 all the way down to P16. So everyone's fairly even, it seems. No one's setup seems to be troubling them too much at the moment. Everyone's hanging on tight. It is a good track for keeping close to the car in front, as you can take different lines to the corners, as I said before, as AJ Mackey and Rhino switch places, as Rhino's looking to make up for the relatively poor qualifying. He got pole last week and he ran away in the wet sprint, and he ran away in the dry full race. So he seems to be good in all conditions, but he didn't seem to perform too well today, as strategy is just tantalisingly close to that 1 second gap to Jalen, as Jalen seems to be running full traction control, which is making life a lot easier in that sector 1. It would be so nice to have that confidence on throttle through there, knowing you're not going to spin. But yeah, Strategy is outside of the 1 second window as Matt Robertson and PX Limits switch places. It's a good move for Rat, as Rhino Charlie is looking to make a move now as well on PX Limits, as Matt has fallen just outside the 1 second window of Sam the Man, and he's would be looking to stay within that 1 second at the end of this lap to make further progress. But yeah, Jack seems to be all over the back of Strategy up now in P2, and Alfie's holding on as well. So is Banana. We'll see if the position changes. As you know, Jaden's up 2, Banana up 2, Matt is up 4, AJ Mack is up 8 positions already, the Aston Martin driver. That's a great start for him. Janelle's also up 4, and Mr. Reese is up 3. And the biggest loser is Janet Lee, who's down 6, as well as Knight R6, who's down 5 places, and then Anna Arsan is down 4. But yeah, it's a lot of position changes so far in this race, as Matt is making the soft tires work, as we have Yai looking to make a move down the inside of Banana there. Not the best start, not the best place for a move, but yeah, enjoy your laundry, Red. If the weather is out there is as good as it out here, it's great enjoying weather, so make the most of it while you can, as Banana is pushing Alfie through the chicane, and Matt Robertson is getting a move done on him by PX Limits, and that's a great move there, it seems, like PX. And they're going too wide into this fast left right hander here, and it's a bit argy-bargy between Matt and AJ Mackey, as he's looking to make up a 9th place here is AJ. He's going to hang it down the inside here, I presume, and they're keeping it clean, and AJ on the hards making up 8 places, and now it's almost 9. Maybe it is 9 now, I'd say. So yeah, that's great progress from him, as PX Limits has a 2 and a bit second gap ahead of him to Sam the Man, which he hoped to speed into. They're all kind of after burning their battery a bit, as Sergio Sliver makes a pass on Hassan, and Strategy is the first person in this race to pick up 3 seconds, so he's doing his best on the mediums to keep up with Jalen there on the softs, but he's just pushing a bit too much, and he's got 3 seconds. I remember him saying in the chat earlier before the race that he was expecting about 15 seconds worth of penalties, and he's picked up 3 in the first 5 laps. There's 27 laps. 5 into 25 goes 5 times. 5 by 3 is 15, so far he's sticking to his prediction pretty much. So in fairness, fair play to him for his consistency and honesty. I don't think he'll appreciate it, but he's a man of his word. And we have Rhino and PX battling, and all they're doing here is getting rid of all their battery, using up their tires, losing time through each corner, and making the gap between them and the 7-car train out front just widen and widen and widen. It's not very smart racing. From my experience in Silver, Charlie is someone who does try to race smart and not waste time. From my experience in Silver, Billy is not one of those drivers. He is all in, no matter what lap or what strategy people are on. I think Charlie believes he has better pace than PX's, which is why he's pushing, and has Strategy spun it. Strategy has binned it, and sandbags are massively out here for Strategy, as Alfie also picks up 3 seconds. He saw that he's in contention for gold, and now he's binned it. So he's back in his Rhino So Charlie and AJ Mackey train. AJ Mackey's made it past PX somewhere in the middle of all of that, which would be good news for Charlie, as I don't think AJ is as aggressive unnecessarily so as PX, from my own experience anyway. PX Billy kind of just goes for it whenever. He doesn't really think about the larger picture, and that's what I found anyway. But yeah, as Sam the Man makes a move on the inside of Banana, as he's dropping back now on those hards, as Sam goes deep, and a lovely switch back from Banana there now. That was a great move on the harder compounded tires. The tires advantage isn't with him at the moment, it's with Sam, but it seems like Banana is the man at the moment, not Sam. Strategy is now behind his teammate Matt Robertson, and Matt is still behind Banana, or Billy. Sorry, so the two AlphaTauri drivers, mixed them up, but yeah, it's as expected, a fairly action-packed race, and with Alfie picking up the 3 seconds and a lot of battling behind it. It is really playing into the hands of Jaden now front. He has a 3-second gap after just 6 laps, as PX now picks up another 3 seconds to add to that of Strategy and Alfie. So I didn't see that many people with penalties in bronze. A couple of people had 6 seconds or 9 seconds or 12 seconds, but it's maybe only 4 for people who actually had penalties. So at this rate, it's going to be a bit more than that for silver. Everyone's kind of pushing limits on each other, as AJ has made it past Rhino into the DRS zone, as we have Sam getting it past Banana on the inside, and Banana goes on the outside, and it's the opposite of the last lap, whereas Banana's on the outside now as he was inside before, and Banana holds it on the outside. And that's great racing from the 3 drivers there, as yeah, he's sticking his nose in and getting involved. Jack's on the P6. He started P2 in this race, which is not a great first 7 laps for him, or 6 laps. Yeah, 7 laps. So yeah, it's he's pulled half a second a gap, has JLN so far to the cars behind, thanks to all their battling and their harder compounded tires. But you would expect now that the mediums anyway definitely should be a bit faster than the softs. So we would expect the mediums anyway to catch it up. Banana and the hards, I don't know if the delta is quite there yet for the hards to be faster than the softs, but if they are, he will make it work. Yeah, there's Charlie making a move now into turn 8 on the outside of AJ as they look to catch up to the group ahead. They've made good progress after getting away from PX and Strategy. His Strategy is now past his teammate. There could be some team orders there. His Strategy is no battery, but Matt Robertson has 40%. So I think team orders came into play there, as Sergio, I believe, is still battling with Arasan, as Sergio is still in P14, so he hasn't made up any places, but he has been fiercely battling in his train. It's a very compact field, as you can see from the track map in the bottom right hand corner. There's the first group, kind of the second group, and the final group, and then somewhere in the back there is Knight in the Alpine. I wonder, does he have damage? Maybe his setup is a bit wrong with tire pressures, or he's got a wet setup, so his tires are just too hot as a whole, and he looks to be struggling big time at the moment, to be kind of hoping for a safety car. He's lost quite like 10 seconds in that last sector, so I'm not too sure what's going on there. But Sam the Man now has made it down the inside of Yai, as they just keep battling here, and the gap to Jaden is ever increasing. His Gennady gets a 5-second penalty for a corner cut, which is very uncharacteristic of him. I'm guessing there was some battling involved as he used a change for P2. We have a change for P5 as well, as Jack is on the inside of Yai, but Yai gets better exit. But yeah, it's Max Verstappen-esque by Jalen out front at the moment. I'm not too sure when they start pitting. You kind of go 13 laps, 12, 13 laps in the mediums, and then switch to the hards. So maybe he'll be pitting in lap 12, maybe 11 or 12 off the softs onto the hards. Be my best guess anyway. But yeah, you have a switch at the back there. Gennady and Jennett battling away. Gennady with that uncharacteristic, as I said, penalty. He will have to serve that in the pits, unfortunately. If it is something that wasn't his fault, he won't be able to get it removed. But yeah, we have Banana and Alfie still battling out front, as Alfie has that 3-second time penalty. We haven't seen any other penalties since, as it looks to be a few track limit warnings there, lastly by PX limits going over that curve there. That's very easily done. The more you cut it, the more time you gain, but cut it too much, you do get a penalty, and you can cut it a lot more than you think you can, but that generally leads you to cutting it too much, unfortunately, as Anar has left the session. I'll see if he needs an invite. He was running a bad race, so I don't presume he's intentionally gone. Janet has also left the session. Is there an issue with the session or issue with their Wi-Fi? I've invited them back anyway, just to be on the safe side. So yeah, hopefully they can make it back in and get back in control of the cars and get back into this race, as Sam has spun. Sam has spun, and given the tightness, tight racing that was happening out front, there could well have been contact there. It is a corner where it is easy to lose it regardless, but yeah, it's Anna is joining back, which is good to see. Hopefully Janet joins back too. But yeah, Sam, after such a great start to his race, up and battling for P2, has lost it there in the third sector and is back into the P10 now, and is stuck behind Strategy. Strategy is fast, so that he's looking to work with Strategy now to catch up, although Strategy is flashing, which is not something he'd like to see, as Banana has picked up a 3-second penalty. He's burning already, so he's definitely looking to make it past Alfie. Again, Banana, along with his teammate PX, don't seem to be the most long-term mindseted people in terms of racing on track. They kind of just want to make the move regardless. It's not worked out too badly for him. He has got a win and a few podiums this season already, so it's not the worst, but definitely could have gotten a few better results so far. Well, I mean, Banana has caught up a lot this lap to Jalen, about half a second really. Those softs must be going off, and I said lap 12. He's about to start lap 12 now, so, but he's lost about 8/10 this lap, if not more, to Banana. So Jalen definitely looking to pit, and with the Strategy, this could end up being a very close race for P1. That I agree, Nathan. And throughout the field, train from P2 down to P8, then there's a bit of battling there from P9 again on P13. Sergio has now pulled away in P13 away from Merckx, Gennady and Anar, as Janet hasn't gotten control of his car yet, unfortunately. I'll send him another invite just in case. He wasn't having a bad race, was the Haas driver, so hopefully he can make it back in, and if it's the safety car, he can be back in this race. But yeah, I don't know what Jaylen is doing. He seems to be staying out a lap and a half or 2 laps too long on these soft compound tyres. He's lost about a second and a half to Banana. It was a 4.2 second gap, and he'd pulled that in the first 8 laps. He should have come in then. He should have come in about lap 9 or 10, which is, I mean, good. It's good for me to learn for a goal later on. Although it does seem to be getting a bit darker than it was earlier on. Is there a possibility of rain? Is that why Jaylen's again sticking out on these soft tyres? And he's just losing time, so much time to Banana. He's lost almost 2 seconds in the last 2 laps. Yeah, he's 3 seconds. Excuse me, he's 3 seconds off his fastest lap, and Janet can't rejoin because he's still in the race. Okay, as Anna has left again as well. Thankfully, I don't want to say it's kind of bad, but like thankfully just 2 of them. It's not kind of a session-wide problem, so it doesn't affect too much. But Anna and Janet, Anna did rejoin, Janet can't rejoin, so it could be a bit of an issue for them, as I'm seeing drops of rain, and it is raining. So that explains why Jaylen stuck it out on these soft compound tyres, and he'd be hoping for a downpour, as there are drops of rain on this track now, as it was a wet to dry quali, and now it looks like a dry to wet race. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing drops of rain on the screen now. So that makes sense as to why Jaylen has stayed out. Janet has joined. I'll send another invite to Anna, although I don't want to leave the action because, well, if they don't pit this lap, I'll invite Anna, but I kind of need to see if people are coming into the pits now or not. Jaylen looks like he's coming in. Banana is not. We have Jack coming in, but he gets speed in the pit lane. A very rookie mistake, but we have kind of a 50-50 split in terms of who's coming in and who's staying out, and this is going to be a crucial couple of laps for this to decide this race, as we have about 5 or 6 people coming into the pits, and I presume, I mean, yeah, they're going on to the inters, but it's definitely something that is a strategy is going to play out over the next couple of laps, as we have most of the grid is staying out for one more lap, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there in terms of strategy. Will people be rewarded for staying out, or is it a bad idea to stay out? I can't see Anwar Hassan now on the screen to add him back. Is he in the car? As Alfie and Banana are still racing 14 laps after they ensued their battle. Oh, is that Anwar in his car? It doesn't look like it. No. Janet's taking control of his car. He's on the inters. I mean, Nathan, I understand what you're saying, but there's still 18 other drivers in this race. It's not very nice to focus on only one person, but I do understand where you're coming from. As Charlie's into the pits and Sam stays out. Sam, Banana and Alfie are staying out, and that is bad news for Sam, because if they box next lap at the same time, they're double stacking. We need to see the intervals here. Are people on the intermediates catching the people on the hards? Sergio is overtaking Anna, so that would suggest that the inters are faster at the moment. I don't think, yeah, DRS is not being disabled yet. The track, there's still plenty of dry lines. We'll see the gap here between Reese and Jaylen. It's I know. I joke. It's me on my own here. It's very lonely, so I'm taking any bit of comedy I can to get me through it. But yeah, it's Jalen isn't really catching Reese. Reese isn't really I mean, he caught him on the straight there, but that's more straight line speed as opposed to Inter's having more grip. But yeah, it's very close between Inter's and Inter's and dry tires at the moment. I presume they will come in this lap. I don't see why they wouldn't be. Invite, please. As Banana is staying out. Yeah, I'll have him beside me, off track and on track. He's obsessed with me at this point. I'd say it's a bit worrying. I might have to get a restraining order, but we'll tackle that when it comes to it. As I am inviting Anna again. Hopefully, he actually can stay in the lobby this time. The Janet has stayed in, which is good to see. But yeah, Alfie, Reese, and Strategy have come into the pits now. As I believe I saw Strategy pick up a 5 seconds, which is not good for his race. Anna has joined. Sam is struggling now on the mediums in these conditions, as Banana is pulling a gap, but he seems to be struggling too. He's 1.7 seconds off his delta of his fastest lap, and that's in the first sector alone. So kind of takes up half the screen, but I kind of need to see the tyres. Anna is still out on the hards as his AI hasn't pitted, although he's now in control of it. So it was not yet. He's joined the session, but he's taking control of it soon. Hopefully, we'll see how that works out for him. As Jenna gets to speeding, and yeah, there is a lot of rain at the moment there to that fast right-hander, which is easily flat in the dry, but I can only imagine how treacherous it is in these conditions. As yeah, Jalen is catching up to Sam the Man, who is kind of sticking with the same delta is it faster though? Because I mean, I don't know if it's because they're battling, but Alfie and Jalen aren't catching really up to Sam that much. I mean, they're catching a tenth maybe in that sequence of corners, and there's a lot of grip. It's a bit more now, so maybe it's time to pit. As Banana is he's staying out. I mean, to put it mildly, he's made a few strategy blunders already this season. I mean, you think back to pitting on lap 6 or 7 of 9 in a sprint race around Silverstone, when he was leading, and now he's shown us a bit of Tokyo drift. But yeah, it's I mean, yeah, he's lost 2 tenths in the first sector alone this lap compared to the last lap, and I don't know why he's staying out. This is even a long stint for the hard compound tires regardless, so they won't have much grip either way, but he's it's lashing. I don't know why he's still on track. Alfie's caught well over a second to him this lap alone. But yeah, everyone now, except for Jenneth, is on the mediums. Interesting. I presume that's the game being atrocious when it comes to changing tires. But yeah, it's a bottle job Banana. He's with the current blue livery on the Alpha Tower. He's the blue £1 billion bottle job, as Gary Neville said. So yeah, that's another bottle by Banana. He's getting quite good at these, in fairness to him. He's obviously learned a good bit from Red. So yeah, it's that's his race gone, and those are my guess. I don't see any way. Are you a Chelsea fan, Reese? Because there's a lot more where that came from if you were. So yeah, that's Anna is left again. I mean, I don't know what's going on there, but I'll invite him again. But yeah, Banana's only come out in P3. Now that is a lot better than I thought it would be. So maybe he didn't bottle it. He's got a few lap fresher tyres. He is about 4 seconds back, and he's got the same amount of penalties. So Jalen is currently in P2s, and just outside the 3 second gap to Alfie. And Banana is catching Jalen as he's got a full tank of battery, but the two cars in front are basically running on fumes. Will they? I thought Inters are fairly good for lasting, and like if you put on the hards or the softs would last 10 laps. The strategy has been it with the Haas of Charlie. There it is, yeah. Oh, Inters are terrible. That's something I didn't know. We'll have to wait and see, I suppose. I would have thought Inters lasted fairly handily. It's yeah, I didn't see the onboard, so I don't know what exactly it was like, but it didn't look it looked like there was a bit of an exit. That exit over the curve there is quite difficult, and you kind of have to put the power down straight away, but it is tough as Banana has burnt half his battery this lap and is now within 2 seconds of Alfie and has pulled 2 seconds from Jalen. After just 4 laps, 23% after just 3 or 4 laps. That seems like an awful lot on the Inters. I mean, I remember I won a race around here in Bronze, and I took the Inters the entire race around, pretty much around Suzuka. I didn't pit once. I pit once from soft onto Inters on lap like 3 or 4, but I just kept those Inters in for the rest of the race, and that won me the race. So Inters are generally good for lasting a long stint, as that's very well held on the inside there by AJ, as Sam looks to get a better exit, get his foot down, and he's burning. AJ is not burning, and Sam has got P5. It's a great move there for Sam, as Banana, I mean either Banana's got a lot of paces, DRS is disabled only now. This game confuses me. It's been wet for about 5 or 6 laps and it's only now disabled DRS. I am confusion. As Banana sends it down the inside the only way he knows how, and he's left the space for Alfie. Alfie's left the space for him, and whatchamacallit, Alfie stays in front as Banana is 15% already, as he's pushing Alfie through there, as Charlie gets another spinner Rooney. Or is he just pitting? Yeah, he is pitting. Is he pitting onto a new set of Inters? That could be a masterstroke if the Inters don't last, like Reese is saying. Having that fresh Inters could make a big difference in this race, especially since the fact that himself and AJ, who also pit, I believe. Yeah, 5% a lap. Jeepers, yeah, the tyres will be nearing puncture, so AJ and Charlie pitting now. That could be a very good call by the two of them, because they'll be picking up time hand over fist compared to everyone else who's on Inters, as we have Alfie and Banana 20 laps later. They are still going at it, and they are still both facing the right direction on track, and they are both still up at the sharp end of the leaderboard. So it's been good racing by the two of them, and it's been clean racing by the two of them, which is what we love to see. It is a much, touch wood, a very good improvement off last week. I am touching wood right now, as in the table. No dirty minds in chat, please. But yeah, it's been a great race so far, and it looks to be clean enough too, which is. So, as Sam Man did he have a wobble? Because he's lost a lot of time there to the cars in front of us. Huh? Oh, okay, people are pitting now, which works based off what Reese was saying in terms of tyre life. So the people who pit it early enough, as Gennady gets 5 seconds. Oh, Gennady. But yeah, it's Alfie has now fallen back off Banana as people are pitting onto the new set of inters as AJ Mackey has undercut them all. He's undercut all of them now on these new set of intermediate tires. So is this a massive stroke in terms of strategy? It's looking like it. It's a very eventful race, and it's been a very clean race, which is always great to see. And yeah, I mean, I haven't a clue what's going on in terms of the strategy as we've established. I thought the Inters be grand now for the rest of the race, but people are pitting after 7 or 8 laps off the Inters to go the last 6 or 7 laps on them. And yeah, it's baffled me. It's a great learning experience for me for gold later, because I would have been screwed otherwise if it was wet. But yeah, it's you learn something new every day, as I always say. But yeah, Banana seems to pull time to Alfie in some parts of the track, as we have Knight who's generally disqualified wrong direction. I'm presuming Janet, he was just trying to get out of the way or something after blue flags or something. But yeah, it's a tough race for Anna and Janet. They've had internet connection issues. There hasn't been any safety cars, again touching wood, and it's just been a flat out race. And speaking of fact, there's no safety cars, and we have Yai falling back behind Charlie and Jack, who'll be looking to make a late charge through the field in these last 5 or 6 laps. But yeah, since there has been no safety cars, I wonder, I mean, from my experience in full dry session, the fuel is not an issue, and yeah, it's not an issue for anyone on track at the moment. So yes, one less thing that can change in these last 5.5 laps or so. Jack will be looking to make it past Billy, as yeah, Sergio has the oldest tyres on track at the moment. They'll be worse for wear. If it's 5% a lap, his tyres will already be at 40%, and with 5 more laps they'll be pushing 50-60%. Like, it's going to be a strategy in 5 seconds. Does anyone know how to go into the pits here? We've had so many 5 seconds. Everyone's struggling with the pit entry. I mean, strategy did say he'd have 50 seconds of penalties. I think he already had 5 seconds. I had 5 seconds already. Who does it in miles per hour? It's 50 kilometers an hour, or is it 60 kilometers an hour? I think it's 50 kilometers an hour. 50 is such a nicer number than 37. I don't know why you do it in miles per hour. That's just bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. As Sergio, who was battling in P14 as we remember earlier on, is now up in the P7 on those 8 lap old, or 9 lap old now I'd say, intermediates. Yeah, and he's behind Matt, who's got 8 lap old intermediates, and they'll just be hanging on for dear life as Merckx is up into the podium places with 12 positions gained in his race, as well as AJ Mackey, the other Aston Martin, is also up 12 places, and Reese is up at 10. There's a lot of places and a lot to lose for some of these drivers here in these last couple of laps, as I think I slated Banana earlier on, calling him the blue billion-pound bottle job for pitting so late, but he's out front now, and I believe, yeah, they still about 3 seconds as Alfie pits with 4 laps to go in this race. Lap 24, lap 25, 26, 27, yeah, 4 laps of this race to go. Alfie pits off the Inters. He has the gap behind him. I mean, he should pit now, but I was wrong about him when he should have pitted before, as he proved it to me. But yeah, it's yeah, Alfie has come out behind Jalen and Sam and Merckx, so he has got a lot of time to gain up these last 3 or 4 laps. But I mean, if Banana gets a puncture, as Sam gets 3 seconds, that's a big one. He was penalty free before then, as I'll keep the penalties open at the moment, because I mean that's going to decide. There's a race with more than half the grid having penalties. But yeah, Merckx is now there in P2, gained 13 places. I mean, I've been wrong so far about the Inters, but I can't see it making sense to pit this late into the race unless you're Banana, and he's managed to pull a bit of a gap to Jalen, Alfie and Sam that train, as Jack gets a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. Again, could be one of those tight ones. I'm not too sure. He's now overtaken Matt. Hopefully that's on track this time. Bit of an improvement there from the F7 admin. I don't want him to giving me loads of work to do this week in terms of incidents. But yeah, Banana's pulling a gap to Merckx. He's not pitching. And yeah, it's Alfie. Sam has fallen back now from Alfie, who's still on the back of Jalen. And they're catching Merckx, but there's only 3 laps left, and they're 3 seconds behind them, and they've also both got 3 seconds worth of penalties, and I don't see how they'll be removed. So they need to gain 2 seconds a lap for these last 3 laps. So I don't know. I don't know, Jeff. It's Charlie is spun it, and Banana Strategy is another 3 seconds, and it's a penalty fest around here. Strategy has bottled it. I mean, he was up towards the sharp end, and now he's down in P13 with 11 seconds penalties, as Alfie has now made it past Jalen. It's a bit later than I think he wanted to make it past, due to the fact that he has got the fresher intermediates. There's a lot of position changes back here all in one go, as you go around the outside of Matt Robertson. Matt Robertson has the old intermediates, as we recall, and yeah, and Gennadi's making it past Charlie, and Matt has been overtaken by Billy too, so Matt's tyres are absolutely gone. Yeah, 10 laps. Sergio was after 11 laps. Sergio was up in P8, now he's down in P12. Jack pit early enough onto the second set of Inters. He's now up in P8, but he got 8 seconds worth of time penalties. He had a 5 second for overtaking off track. I wonder if that can be removed. I'm not too sure, as Alfie has now made it past Merckx, and he's brought Jalen with him. And Merckx, if he can hold on to the back of Alfie for 3 seconds, but he's falling behind Jalen too. They're both on fresher intermediate. They keep having to switch back and forth, because just the tyres and penalties are so crucial at this point in the race. With 2 laps to go, if Merckx can just hold on to Jalen and to Banana, he'd have a possibly P2 and at least a P3, but he's already fallen back a second and a bit, as Charlie has retired in the pits. It's been a terrible race after such a dominant performance in Austria. He just had an absolute stinker this race, unfortunately. He was asking for strategy tips in terms of fuel and whatnot in this race, and it has been no use. He has just not got the rub of the green this weekend, and he has struggled so far. He had a poor qualifying and then an even worse race, but now we are coming up close to the last lap of this race, as Banana 16 and a bit seconds in front, as Merckx has fallen back behind Sandeman too, as Merckx's tyres are gone. He has a puncture. Reese was right. Merckx is cutting the track. He's cutting the track, but he's leaving everyone through. He's not trying to disrupt everyone's races. That's great sportsmanship by Merckx. I really appreciate that. He's got a puncture. He knows he's in the way, but he's doing his best to now stay out of the way. As a result, he was on the verge. And how old are his tyres? Tire. Merckx is 11. Banana is 9. Sam has 10. Sergio is 12. Will we see a puncture for anyone else in the grid? Sam the Man and Sergio are next oldest. Sergio has not pitched. He stayed out. His tyres are still intact. But that's so unfortunate for Merckx. He was definitely in contention for a P2, and if not, he also a driver of the day. But it has just one lap is all he needed to just escape confronting Mr. Rees. Now on these new sets of tyres, now up in the P5, and that is 14 places gained, and he's battled against the other person on track who's gained 14 places. And I don't know, yeah, Rees called it so well, and yeah, it's so unfortunate for Merckx. He's gained so many places, I think 14 as well, but yeah, unfortunately his tyres did not last, as yeah, it doesn't look like Banana's got a puncture, but he has come across the line in P1, and Alfie has come across the line now in P2, and sticking out possibly was a strategy to go with. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, now Alfie is P2, Jalen now in P3, the reserve driver. I know the new driver, is it? Yeah, I think it's a new driver now. Yeah, new driver. Sam the Man, Rees, AJ, Yai, Jack, and Strategy finishes on track in P10, but he has, or P9 I think, and he has got 11 seconds worth of penalties. And yeah, it was a very unfortunate race for you, Charlie. But he was unfortunate for a couple of people this week. Merckx definitely one of those who got very unlucky, and Anna Hersan and Janet couldn't even race really because they had keep getting disconnects. And yeah, I mean, again, fair play to Banana. I called him the blue £1 billion bottle job, and DRS isn't enabled in the last lap. Matt Robertson can get some DRS if he wants, but yeah, that's a dry to wet to dry race, a wet to dry qualifying, and we've had a wet qualifying, I think was it in what's the word, bronze, a wet qualifying in bronze and a dry race in bronze. So surely, I'm touching the wood again, hopefully it's just a dry race in France, because that's all I'm prepared for. I can't deal with any more than that today. But yeah, that was definitely eventful. Whew, that was, yeah. UFRL Mr. Poem says Merck's bad luck continues, and yeah, unfortunately. And yeah, Banana, I said he had washed in qualifying. I said he was blue £1 billion bottle job in the race, and he's didn't have to go on comms in gold. He has won this race and shoved that straight back in my face, and fair play to him. I'll now have to interview him. Actually, no, he's not in PlayStation. I don't have to interview him, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But yeah, fair play to Banana. It was a much deserved win and a well earned win in the end, and he proved me wrong. Oh no, he's jumping on PlayStation. Oh god, I have to talk to him now after doing my best to chat shit. God, don't you just love it when it comes back to bite you? In fairness, it was a great drive by him, and strategy played well, and he did deserve it. He did deserve it in the end, and I can't fault him, as I have not had a chance to look at the standings Yeah, that was maybe 2/10 of a second it popped up on the screen. So yeah, if anyone has the standings, please, or from recording a session of Banana, anyone has standings, because that just did not happen for me today for whatever reason. I'm not too sure why that is, but yeah, it was Alfie, Jalen, and Banana who finished up on the podium. I can't invite Jalen because he is not on PlayStation, but I can invite Banana and Alfie, I believe. Where's Banana? I'll invite Alfie there. I can see him. I can't see I can't find them. I'll invite. Kind of tempted to just invite Silver, but that could just ensue carnage. I don't particularly want that. But yeah, I can't find Banana. Banana Plays, that's the one, isn't it? But yeah, I can't find him at the moment. Banana, let me know if you hop on to PlayStation, and just remind me of your name so I can add you to the chat. Yeah, add you to the comms for the interviews, but in the meantime, I'll get chatting with P2 man. Alfie, how are you?
Very good, how are you?
I'm good as well, thanks. You had a pretty much a race-long battle with Banana, it looked like, from where I was standing, and in the end he didn't pit and you did pit, and that was the kind of differentiator at the end. Do you regret that decision, or do you think the tyres were going to do what they happened to Merckx and he get a puncture?
Yeah, I would have got a puncture. I was 70%.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's recent was saying that the inters don't last on this track, and they've worked for me before, so I wasn't expecting that at all. So it was a bit of a shock to me. But yeah, it's a good P2 from you. How you had we also had the changeable weather in qualifying. How did that work out for you?
It worked out pretty well. I decided to wait for the dry, which probably paid off.
Yeah, there was a couple of you yourself and Strategy. I think Merckx, I remember seeing, had the pit next to them pretty much the entire session, and it worked out for ye as it then ended up being dry. And then the race, I mean, you and Banana were inseparable the entire time, it looked like, even with different pitting on different laps and stuff. Did you enjoy the battle with him today? It looked clean, and from where I could see, so that was always good.
Yeah, minus the few little incidents we had, it was quite fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's a track where you can go side to side, and there's a lot of fast corners, so there'll be a bit of a argy-bargy and elbows out for a bit, but that's all well and good in racing, and there was no spins from either of you, which is good to see with so much wheel-to-wheel contact. And in the end, you picked up a P2. Were you happier enough with that, or would you have been hoping for the P1?
Well, yeah, I would have obviously hoped for the P1, but P2 I can live with.
Yeah, and you were a last-second reserve as well, so fair play to you for fair play to you for coming in and saving the day, as we had a late cancellation in terms of attendance. So yeah, thanks again for, as the Silver Director, I appreciate you standing in last second and giving us a great racing.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and Probably should know this, but do you know what track is next week, and what you be looking to reserve next week as well?
I don't know what tracks next week.
I mean, I don't blame you. I don't know it either, and I'm supposed to know it. So yeah, well, congratulations on your P2, and yeah, I'll possibly see you again next week. And if more racing like that, I could see you in a full-time seat. So yeah, best of luck and thanks again.
You're welcome. See you later.
I'll see you. Let's see if I can add banana to this chat now and pay my dues for Jamie Brass. Okay, that's probably why I haven't. I'll get him added to the party there now. But yeah, I'll have to, as I said, pay my dues here now, adding him to the party. Wish me luck, everyone. Wish me luck.
Yo.
Well, well, well.
Let's fucking go! Yes! Oh my god. That was that was a banging race. I actually loved that race more than my Hungary win. I don't care. And I proved you all wrong. I managed to get the win. Oh, I kept asking Mark when the inters were going to be like optimal. He kept saying dry, and I just stayed out as long as I could. I kept sliding and sliding. And I was like, right, I got to pit for the inters. Best decision I've made for that race. And oh my god, there was an overtake I did on Alfie around the long right hander. Reese was watching it, and my god, it was such a good overtake. It was
The switch back on the inside, wasn't it?
pretty much, yeah.
I think I caught that in stream as well. Yeah, I said it on stream. It was a very good move. In fairness to you.
Yeah, I did it twice to him. I think I did it once in the dries and then once in the wets.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good fun race. I'm pumped up, man. I'm good for that.
Yeah, I called you washed in quali. I said you were the blue £1 billion bottle job in the AlphaTauri in the race, and here you are as the race winner. Proved me wrong twice. I mean, fair play is all I can say, really.
Yeah. What? So let's see if I can try and get. I'll try and get into Dane Comms with Nathan, but I don't know if he's going to let me. So.
I don't want him to let you.
I want to know.
Oh god.
Now this is about time.
I wish I had the pace to be battling for the winning goal, but yeah, no, it's a well won race by you today, and you picked the hards were the best hard to be on for the first stint. You made them work. You waited and waited and waited. I thought you messed it up by going on to the inters late, but you went late enough to keep him alive till the end of the race, not have any puncture, and a 16 second gap to P2. I mean, it couldn't have got much better for you today, and well done.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's been a great race, and I enjoyed every bit of it.
Yeah, there was some great racing on track, and as I said to Alfie, you and the two of you were inseparable for the first 20 laps of this race, so, and it was good, clean racing by the two of you. So yeah, fair play. And do you know what track is next week? Because I still have no idea.
It's Netherlands.
Netherlands, okay, Zandvoort. Yeah, we raced there in Fantasy not too long ago. So that's recent enough in your memory. You looking forward to it?
Considering I was like really high up in fantasy and I got knocked down from penalties, I feel very confident for silver. So this could be a back-to-back win, but I don't want to jinx it. So I'm going to say I'm going to get last place in that race. Nope, actually that's a bad decision. We're going to just say I'm going to finish. Nope, I'm going to shut up now.
No, I'll say that you're going to absolutely dominate that race, and you're going to have a P1 in qualifying by 0.3 of a second. You're going to be 20 seconds clear by the end of the race, and then hopefully I'll eat my words this time, and I'll be more than happy to eat them.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. Like honestly, like if I get back-to-back wins, right, I'm gonna be so happy.
Yeah.
to the fact where I'm actually going to have to go to gold.
Yeah, I was about to say, like.
I'm getting to the point where it's going to have to like be a mid-season change to gold, and I don't want that to happen. So Nathan,
Yeah.
don't force me into it.
I
I'll do
mean,
it next season.
yeah. I mean, today was the way the strategy played out in terms of qualifying in the wet to dry. It kind of meant the gaps up front for strategy and Jack were kind of bigger and exaggerated, and then it meant your lead in the end was kind of exaggerated. So I don't think you'll be going up to goal after this performance just for those conditions reasons, but it was a great performance by you. So yeah, congratulations, and
Thanks, man.
yeah, and hopefully you're. I hope you're not on comms. I hope you're not on comms.
Get me on comms. I know you can hear me. Get me on.
I have enough of my play racing in gold without having you on comms roasting me the entire race.
Oh, I just realised that's back-to-back podiums for me. I broke my curse. I finally broke it in silver. I broke it.
Ah, fair play. Just in time for you moving up to gold.
Don't even think about it. Enjoy doing it? Nah, no happening. I'm good.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'll check where my gold comes.
Yeah, fair play anyway.
Fun and yeah, man, thanks. But I hope you do good in gold. I'll be watching very carefully, and congratulations to P2 and P3. I completely forgot I was too busy focusing on my own race, but congratulations to them. And yeah. I'll hopefully see you next week then.
Hopefully, yeah, and hopefully I won't be talking to you next week. But yeah, I wish you all the best anyway. I'll see you.
Yeah, see you around, man.
Cheers. So yeah, that was round 11, round France for silver. It was a great race in the end. Great racing, great sportsmanship there by Merckx there. He had got very lucky with the puncture there at the very end, but he stayed out of everyone's way. He didn't try and still battle and whatnot as other people might have. He just kind of took it on the chin, and fair play to him. Very close to getting a well-earned P2 or P3, making up 14 places, but I think given the length of the gap at the top of in between P1 and P2, I think driver of the day has to be Banana. That tied in with making me eat my words after qualifying and the race. I think that's has to be driver of the day for him too. So yeah, I'll see you all again next week. Hopefully I have better luck with my jinxes and comms. I can get them working in my favour next week hopefully. But yeah, I'll see you all.